Boom.
And we are recording, Mr. Mo.
Hell yeah.
By the way, we've been killing it on the listens, getting lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of listens. So I feel like maybe I've gotten to the point now that I can start wearing sunglasses indoors. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
That's pretty cool.
It looks like you have glaucoma. Like, doesn't what's the guy's name? Sonny Bono? No, Bono. Bono wears glasses because he has glaucoma. Actually, let me fact check that. I don't want to sound like Trump and just like
see his
throw out.
eyeballs.
Let me see. Does he have a first name or is it just Bono?
YouTube Bono or just Bono? Shares Bono. Sonny Bono.
Oh, that's Sonny Bono.
Oh no.
Okay, let me see. Does he have personal life?
Personal life.
Oh, Bono. This is Wikipedia. Bono is almost never seen in public without sunglasses as he has glaucoma.
Wow.
And now you look like that. You old fuck.
So, hello, America. It is I, Bono.
Wait, no, Bono, over here. No, face the microphone.
It's really dark in here. Maybe I should wear the stuff, but no one sees me without my sunglasses, lad.
Dad.
All right. Going to hell. And 3, 2, 1. What are you doing?
Testes in my mouth.
Get on the ground, you fucking pledge.
Ew.
Welcome to the greatest podcast experience of your life. This is the Frat Chat Podcast.
All young men like 3 things. Boobs, pussy.
Featuring Carlos Garcia and Chris
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting time. It's the Frat Chat Podcast. I'm Carlos Garcia with Chris Simo Moore. How's it going, Mr. Moore?
Yo, I'm good. Thank you so much. How are you?
Living the dream. I got to give a big shout out to our epic, awesome listeners. The podcast has been blowing up, you guys, and it's all because of you. We already had a very healthy dose of listeners over the years, but now it's getting to the point of the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, which I fucking just love to see it. And normally we would thank a couple of countries, but literally it's over 66 countries listening to the Frat Chat Podcast. Which is
oh my God.
Wild, you
Why?
guys.
What's wrong with them? Don't they have any tastes?
It just goes to show most of the world can't afford therapy, you guys. So thank you for coming to us instead.
Okay, so speaking of
we're honored. Thank you.
Speaking of therapy, can we just go back to U2 for a second? Because there was an album cover. I think the album was called Songs of Innocence, where Bono was shirtless and caressing the torso of his also shirtless son. Do you remember that? Gay.
To be fair, that's probably taking at a gathering at Tom Brady's house. You know what I mean? The Tom Brady summer pool party.
Yeah.
Happens every year.
Sounds about right.
Only you have to bring food or anything. You just got to bring your son.
Yeah. Sounds about right. They must be Catholic.
And they just, they do shirts versus shirts and all the sports.
Yeah.
Or skins versus skins, I mean. That's the only requirement, Yeah. Bring your kid shirtless. And you do manly things, there's nothing gay. You're not like banging each other. I don't know what you guys are thinking of. You just like chop wood and,
If our fraternity had like a relay day and they were like, and we all had like this huge reunion and they said, let's play football, 2-hand touch, shirts versus skins, I would throw up. I would be so disgusted.
Yeah, some of those guys now. No, the thing, our fraternity is not around college anymore in Towson University, so fuck it. but there's a big age group, so it's a big age range, I should say. Some of those guys I feel like are pushing like 50 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, and there's some guys who are like the guys that were at the tail end of it who are like maybe like 26 or so. So there's a big, I don't know. I feel like after like 32, it really goes downhill. But it's not like we were a particularly fit fraternity in college to begin with. So like that's like you see some of those guys that we remember being, looking, and that's like the best they looked in life.
I on the topic of our fraternity, I just want to give a shout out, or I guess condolences to one of our brothers. I don't want to say his name on the call, but he actually lost his actual brother recently. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's very sad.
Who was a really nice guy, and I'm thinking of you. That's all. I don't want to get into people's personal details, especially him because he's such a nice guy. But we're thinking of you. And cancer sucks. Cancer's a horrible thing, and it claimed another really nice person.
I know that too well, my friend. But sending some love. Now we're gonna get to, in a weird way, this is a good segue because we're gonna talk about a new story that takes place with someone dying in it. Now it's from puberty, but for some reason my spell check keeps trying to correct it to puberty, even though it sounds like pubes. You guys, no, I know you're very famous,
it does.
but it's like I feel like it sounds like the all pube news channel. I mean, I'm just saying. I know you have millions and billions and billions of followers. Like it's like someone asked us to change the name now.
Puberty needs Manscaped.
Yeah, that's what that makes me think of. Like puberty right now, like when you get to the level of puberty, like you gotta double up on your Manscaped.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you gotta order and get 20% off, and then you gotta phone a friend to also order, maybe gift it to you, and then that saves you 40%. I'm just saying.
And my mom just told me that my most recent Manscaped photo looks as if I'm really struggling to read, and I can't unsee it.
Well, I mean, that's because you are struggling to read.
Probably.
It's not a fine print, it's just dyslexic, you guys.
Yeah. I see 2020. I can read a room, just not a book,
It's okay, you guys.
It's okay. We like stupid people. We like all people.
Yeah, we do. Doesn't matter if you have dyslexia.
Oh, wait, can I tell you that I had this ex back in Chicago who I really thought we were going to get married one day. I was so infatuated with him. And we still talk, not in that sense, though. I mean, we keep in touch, and he's a great guy. But when we first started dating, he said he's super intelligent. He's a PhD, and he's a college professor. And he said to me, "It's so refreshing to hang out with someone and just to spend time with someone who's so simple-minded." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You know what I mean? Like, I'm surrounded by academia, and then there's you." And I was like, "And what about?" I'm sorry, say that again. And he was like, "Don't be mad." I'm like, "Okay, I won't because you said so." It's like, can you please explain to me why I'm simple-minded? And he said, "To be fair, you do like a lot of potty humor." And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I do love potty humor.
Oh God! So you were just like the
hello.
You were that friend, and
Yeah.
it was so refreshing to be surrounded by a moron. In the good way, like how you like can't read and like it takes you a while to get jokes and how like you suck at Jeopardy, you know what I mean? Like all the good things you want in life.
Yeah. But the Jeopardy theme song, you just don't know the answers. Or should I say the questions?
I also think about really, really smart people though. Like I feel like you get to a level of intelligence, I guess I should say, where like it's just tough to communicate with actual people. you're such a fucking intellectual. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I just think like he was trying, like in his mind, like that was actually like the nicest way he could put it. Do you know what I mean? Because you're
Yeah.
like, when you're like that smart, you're kind of brutally honest. You don't have time for bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was just like, I just love it that you're a total fucking moron, like in the good way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm surrounded by all these people. Like yesterday, I met a child who graduated college at 7 years old. Isn't that wild? And then meanwhile, you can't even like use a can opener. It's so funny.
I can tie my shoes if I sing the song, guys.
You had to like make a little bunny. It's adorable.
Bunny ears is what got me through college. Thank you.
That was also your nickname in high school.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Everyone else's bunny ears hung low, but mine didn't drop yet.
Anyways, we were taking in some twist and turn away.
Yeah, let's talk about this dead person on puberty.
God.
What happened? Hit by a car.
Yeah. Condolences to that dead person. But anyways, this story, again, from puberty, that's what took us down here, was that about a Utah widow who recently wrote a grief book in wake of her late husband's death. Apparently, it turns out that she's been charged with murder.
No!
Yeah. Apparently, the night of the husband's death, the cops found her husband lying at the foot of the bed, lying at the foot of their bed. They tried life-saving methods, CPR, all that good stuff. Unsuccessful. Now, when they questioned the lady, she stated that she made her husband a Moscow Mule drink earlier that drink to celebrate a business achievement, which is like that already. The fuck is making a Moscow Mule drink? Get out of here. Now, what brought her into question was that lethal levels of fentanyl were found in the husband's body at the time of his death. And a further investigation, it was revealed that she had repeated communications with an unnamed acquaintance and reportedly had long-lasting marital problems prior to this. So her behavior was apparently also odd after death of the husband. She hosted a fucking party for a home sale the day after he died, where she apparently beat up the dead husband's sister.
Oh my God.
She wrote a fucking grief book after the fact about how to get over your husband. Yeah. What a monster, right?
She should have wrote a book called Street Fighting Relatives.
Yeah, fuck. Like how to hit an uppercut on a sister-in-law you don't like.
That's why I will never, ever again have a woman make me a Moscow Mule. I don't trust him, and that is why I'm gay. Heyo.
It's funny. I feel like that would have been like that's just too oddly specific of a drink for someone to offer me at any point where I would just be suspicious. Like I don't know that Julie has ever heard of a fucking Moscow Mule. But if she shows up one day and I'm sitting on the couch, watching TV, and she just like walks up like, "Hey, I made you a Moscow Mule," I would just look at her and just like punch her in the face, make her drink it. You think you're gonna fool me?
You know what? Sometimes I joke with my husband and like he'll say something goofy and I'll text him back and say, "I'm gonna beat your fucking ass if you don't do XYZ." And then I think to myself, I shouldn't have that written down in black and white because that could be held against me in the court of law. You know what I mean? I don't say things like, "I'm going to kill you." I would never say that. But I do say things like, "I'm going to chop your dick off, you little bitch. Stop playing with me."
Totally out of love.
Speaking of him,
you fucking stupid mom. And if your grandma looks at me again, bitch, I'm gonna choke her to death. But all in love, sweetheart.
I'm gonna bite your grandma's clit off and spit it at her fucking face, that little whore. Love you.
I'm gonna slit her throat. I'm gonna slit her throat. And then make the children drink the blood out of it. But all in love, sweetie. Like, it's just.
Who wants Fago bites? Anybody want some pizza rolls? So speaking of my husband, real quick, I just wanted to share that last night I had this like dream. I just remember it being a very stinky dream, and I woke up and my head was like nestled in my husband's armpit. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Maybe my worst enemy. And to be fair, I would eat anyone's asshole over having my face in this raunchy ass armpit again.
Now, I will say that's honestly probably why you were dreaming of stinky shit.
Yeah,
your brain is taking it. Like I had that. I've told this on the air, but the time where I got drunk and woke up peeing on my friends because I was dreaming that I like was going to the bathroom, and then I woke up just fucking peeing on someone. It's like, oh shit, total mishap.
That's why you should not hang out with R. Kelly, or at least don't fall asleep in the presence of R. Kelly, because you're gonna wake up wet.
Now, for some reason, and this is just me, and I think this just goes to show total love. This, but Julie kind of likes my musk apparently, and so it's not.
Oh, what's wrong with her? She needs some self-esteem.
I shower, pretty constantly myself, so I'm always pretty clean. So sometimes for example, if I wake up and I go to the gym later, I might shower twice a day sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to, I'm not like OCD about it. It's just, I like to be clean. I don't want to be stinky. But I do sometimes. I'm like, really? You like that?
Ew. There are two things.
That's cool. It's my musk, man. That means I'm like meant to be, baby. I like it. Cool.
No matter who I've dated in the past or who I'm married to at the present, I don't like the smell of anyone else's pillowcase or the inside of their hat. That's so gross to me.
Yeah, the inside of a hat, I've never smelled someone else's. That's like, why would you do that? All the juices that soak up in there? Oh, no. Like, Julie has a hat nearby over there that, like, she uses to work out in, and like, you have to pay me some good money before I sniff that. Now,
gross.
Before we move from the puberty story, I have to say, lady's a total monster. We can all agree.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. But if you look at the
documentary, did it.
I put her picture up.
She looks crazy.
She's kind of hot though. She's like crazy hot. I don't know. I'm into brunettes myself, so that's kind of but she has a nice smile. Crazy eyes though. If you just cover the eyes, but also that's like after hearing this story, maybe if she was like teacher of the year, I wouldn't see crazy eyes. But after hearing, Moscow Mule laced with fentanyl, it does add context to the eyes. But I'm like, there's worse ways to die, I guess.
I mean,
she's hot.
She looks psycho, and it doesn't look good for her. But he could be a total he could have been a total cokehead and violent and crazy, and that could have been what did him in, and that could have been what the marital problems were. Yeah, but
1,000%. Even if he wasn't, but that's like what you gotta throw out there, and at least get that shit lower to like manslaughter, where you're just trying to save your life. It's still premeditated murder though. So, but in that context, maybe she'll get some leniency. But you got to be able to prove that maybe you have a picture, and there's got to be something that she has to be able to, some way that she has to prove in some way that she was scared for her life. And we'll see if she can actually do that. I'm kind of curious to follow this case because rare.
Something's not right
She's
about
definitely gonna
her.
end up in. There's definitely gonna be a documentary made about her just because she's a hot killer. Guaranteed. Keep an eye on Netflix.
She looks like Lorena Bobbitt.
No, Lorena. Well, Lorena was attractive in her day, maybe. Let's see. Lorena Bobbitt, 90s. Yeah, she was pretty. But she's like a white girl, Lorena Bobbitt. There's something about the eyes, dude. What the fuck? Creepy.
I don't know. That's gonna give me nightmares. I'll take that nightmare over a stinky fucking dream of armpit nasty.
I mean, I know the guy. I know John Wayne Bobbitt. Did fine after the whole incident. I guess he became a quasi celeb for his situational snip.
Yeah.
But between you and I'd rather just take the Moscow Mule than the fucking dick cut. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want a life of, having that.
I'm gonna agree with that.
It's like, just give me the Moscow Mule. Let me go. I was a piece of shit. I deserved it. Fuck it. Don't cut off my dick. Oh god, that's terrible. Anyways, now that we left that image in you guys' brain.
Or your spank bank, depends on what you're in. We're not gonna bash any kinks here.
There's no judgment here at the Frat Chat podcast. I myself spanked Simo on national television.
Yeah,
and that's just what they showed. I'm kind of wish MTV would just put out the whole show.
That was the highlight of my life, and my mom's and my aunts as they watched it on TV. I got amazing feedback, and also I got kind of a will, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyways, you guys, it's time to get to it. Because we here at the Frat Chat podcast grew up watching some of the greatest TV families in history. We reach a big gap here. I myself was born in '88, so I was what you would call a '90s kid. And Simo has been around since the invention of television, so he's gotten to see everything.
That's negative.
And in fact, you might say that some of these TV families that we've seen on television taught us everything we know, especially in Simo's case, because his parents don't love him as much as his sister. But that brings us to the following question. What are our favorites? What are the best TV families? And that's what we're here to cover today, ladies and gents. Because this week, we will reveal our top 10 favorite TV families of all time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I feel like I need a TV dad to come hug me right now, teach me a lovable moment in life. But that's just me.
Well, Bob Saget died, so keep dreaming, kid. Too soon?
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Oh, no, Bob. No.
You know what? I liked him on Full House, but I did not like him on America's Funniest Videos. I thought, what a fucking wiener.
But that's what he had to be, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, look at that. I am a guy walking around. What am I doing? Oh, I got hit in the nuts. No.
Yeah.
That was a shtick. That's all I needed to do. Just do a funny voice to lead us into a nut shot. That's pretty much, that was his role. So
true.
And it's funny because his stand-up is so filthy. He's just like the sweetest TV dad. And he was cast as a dork in America's Funniest Home Video, but his stand-up is about having butt sex with Kimmy Gibbler.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I'm down. I had a crush on her as a kid. It'd be fulfilling a dream of mine.
She looked just like you.
I know. I just want to fuck myself. Is it sex or is it masturbation? I don't know. So I have an honorable mention and dishonorable mention.
Dishonorable or honorable?
I have one of each.
Okay. Now,
honorable mention I'm not going to spend too much time on, but I just wanted to say that to me, I used to think Kimmy Gibbler was so fucking hot.
But look, it looks like you.
It does look like me. It does look like me with straight hair.
Oh my God, I'm dying. Oh my
Yeah.
God, you two can be related. You never know.
I mean, we might be. So my honorable mention is the show Friends, because to me, like, their dynamic was very much a family. It's not as an unconventional family, not like everything else on our list, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, that's the point of the show. It's about the period in your life where, you know, you're going on your own and your friends become your family.
Yeah, of course.
Premise, so.
And that's very common in the gay community, because, or I guess the queer community, I should say, because a lot of people are rejected by their conservative family, and so they make their own family, their chosen family, and the chosen family normally carries more weight than the, you know, actual family. You know, blood is thicker than water in the Sopranos, but not in the queer community.
And I will say, New Yorkers in general usually are people who are disenfranchised from somewhere else. So I feel like it really relates now that, you know, living out on this side of the world, where you kind of have to, you know, it takes a village, as they say. So I like that. I wouldn't have thought myself to include him, but I like that you did. That's why there's two of us, guys. And what's the dishonorable?
Family Matters.
Why are they dishonorable?
Because they did their daughter wrong. Judy just disappeared. They had 3 kids. The Winslows, they had Eddie, they had Laura, and the youngest was Judy. And there's one day she just wasn't there. How do you lose your kid and never talk about it?
Maybe.
Dishonorable mention.
She knew too much, and Carl used the police force to get rid of her.
Maybe.
I sense there's murder afoot.
I like the show, but after I remember that was so jarring. I'm like, I'm going to talk about it? Wow.
It's funny because, I mean, if you watch I think it's the first season, but it's at least the first 3 episodes, there's no Urkel. Urkel doesn't come in until later on.
Yeah.
He just comes in and he takes over the show, and all of a sudden, the little girl goes missing.
They were like, listen, we don't have the budget for both of you guys, so we need you to flip a coin.
and then Urkel just looked at her and like dropped the coin. He just looked there and goes, "Did I do that?" And everybody's like, "Oh, Urkel, we just love you." He said it. We just love how he does that. And it's like, "Sorry, little girl, see him." And just security comes and drags away the little girl.
Remember when Jaleel White would play Myrtle Urkel, his girl cousin or something?
No, I remember Urkel was the cool Urkel.
Yeah, Stefan Urkel. But he used to play. He actually did a really phenomenal job playing Myrtle Urkel. So maybe Judy was just Urkel in drag the whole time. And they're like, okay, well, you know, we want to invest more in Urkel's, like, you know, nerdy character than the drag queen version of, I don't know. Who knows? I wasn't there, you know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's all you gotta say.
I drank a lot through my 40s, so I don't remember. All right, you want to go first with your first top 10 sitcom families?
That sounded like it was easy for you to say, so anyways,
do you want to start with your first of 10 of the you know, the top 10 of the favorite sitcom families? Whenever you're ready. Thank you so much. Over and out.
That's right, because we here at the Frat Chat Podcast don't believe in wasting time.
No, we're professionals.
Damn right.
Summer is coming. Are you ready to unveil your beach bod? Manscaped is here to ensure your body is ready for the wild with their game-changing full-body grooming and hygiene products. Don't be the guy at the beach with Austin Powers chest hair, baby. And if you grew some winter man tits, the least you can do is make sure they're hairless. Because the ladies love those hairless titties, believe you me. It's time to get ready for a hot guy summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code FRATCHAT.
Now, I'm going to start with a family that I myself wouldn't have been around to see if it was a real family, but maybe Simo would have. I'm talking about the Foremans in That 70s Show. And I love the Foremans. I feel like they're the family that every kid needs. The dad was a total hard ass, sure, but he was a good dad.
Yeah.
Always there to give advice and back his kid up. And he kind of needed to be because the mom was like the sweetest woman in the history of the universe. So like you can't have two nice cops, I feel like, when you have kids. Like, even with Stella here with the pup, like, we play good cop, bad cop sometimes, when she gets out of line. Then I put on the glasses. I'm like, what'd you do, Stella? Is that you pooping everywhere?
No, it's me. Sorry. I had dairy. I just can't digest nacho cheese. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Simo had nacho cheese chips. He had pizza in a giant glass of milk when he came over, and I was just like, "Wait, are you sure you should be eating that?" He's like, "No, it's totally fine."
Like, really? Julie was like, "Oh my god, is that thunder?" No, Simo's in the bathroom again. No, don't panic.
I gotta go to the neighbor's house to use the toilet now for the next few days. Yeah. But yeah, I think the Foremans were great, and they let their kids have fun. You know what I mean? They had the house be their center of fun, so they could keep an eye out on the kids, but also let them do their thing. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a cool place. I would love to hang out at the Foreman's house. Hit a little joint circle with the gang. That would have been awesome. So I gotta give it to the Foremans. Love them.
I love them, but I helped at my job Donna from That 70s Show, and she was, well, I'll give her leeway because she was pregnant, but she was a raging bitch. And her husband was super nice, and he's a really good actor. He was actually he played, I don't know, I think it's the Angel, the guy with the wings in X-Men.
Oh, really?
So he was really cool, but she was just not nice to me. I actually complimented. I said that her eyes were really pretty, and she said, "Excuse me, what's that supposed?" No, I said her eyes. I was like, "Wow, your eyes are like piercing," and she said, "Excuse me, what is that supposed to mean?" I said, "Well, it was a compliment. Some people can't take compliments, so it's okay. Just forget I said that. Your total is." I was like, "Yikes! Back up, bitch." She's a Scientologist, so whatever.
Well, I will say maybe it was the pregnancy. And you were talking about Ben Foster.
Yeah.
Who is, he's such a good actor too, dude. I love
He's amazing. He's a really nice guy.
And he does like great character work too. Like he's done a lot of different cool ass movies, but fucking love that guy. Ben Foster, if you're listening. We love you. I would like fangirl. Not gonna lie if I met Ben Foster, because he started out with a Disney Channel show.
What show?
Flash Forward, I think it was called. And it was
with that wasn't with Hilary Duff. That was with Shia LaBeouf.
No, maybe. I know he was in the Stevens. Flash Forward, Ben Foster. Who was in that? No one I really recognize now. To be honest. Yeah, no, but great show. And then I remember just seeing him pop up. He was in this Bruce Willis movie. I think it's called like The Negotiator, where he plays like this goth kid who ends up like kidnapping everyone. He was in actually another Bruce Willis movie, Alpha Dog, where he plays which is based on a true story. He plays like a karate brother whose little brother get kidnapped, and he's like a gangster though. He just happened to know karate, and little brother gets murdered by these gangsters, and he's so fucking good in that. And he obviously made it to the X-Men universe or the Marvel world. Everything I see the guy in is so fucking good. I just spent like 3 minutes fangirling on the guy. So, anyways,
Then how about you marry him already? Jeez
Yeah, right.
Louise. Can I be the gay one on the podcast? Yikes. Anyway, it's so
let me
hard
get
for
the-
gay people to have a voice these days because
let me get
the
rid of this
straight ones
boner real
talk
quick.
so much about homoerotic stuff. Okay, so my first one is, you may not remember this show because you're a youngin, but the Beverly Hills 90210
Yeah,
that was centered around this family, the Walshes.
the remake, right? That just came out. With, I'm just kidding.
The original's always the best.
Yeah, that was a great show. I gotta say,
in Technicolor.
Yes. You have to get up to change the channel every day.
Yeah.
When it was time to watch the show, but it was good times.
Yeah.
It was good.
So this show was centered around the Walsh family, and no matter what happened in this show, they dealt with a lot of really intense topics, which I think was great for that time. No matter what happened or who was upset with whom or whatever love triangle was going on at the time, they always have a safe space at the Walsh family home. And I think it's because the Walshes had just moved from Minnesota. You know, Midwesterners are just nicer. They moved from Minnesota to Beverly Hills. So yeah, they were a bit more grounded and had better family values than the Beverly Hills, rich nonsense families.
And they didn't even lock their door, which is actually how they're murdered when the show ends. Because you gotta lock your doors, you guys. It's not Minnesota.
Jason Priestley and Shannon Doherty, the two main characters, did leave before the series wrapped. So, I mean, one could argue. So, they were twins, Brandon and Brenda. And then Brenda had this like love affair with this guy, the late what was his name? Dylan. What was his real name?
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry, rest in peace. He was between Brenda and Kelly, and then he dealt with alcoholism, and they dealt with issues. I remember one time Kelly was in a fire and she had all these burn scars, and it fucked up her like modeling career. And then there was like drug addictions. They talked about eating disorders and rape and like all sorts of crazy topics, but there was always a safe space in the Walsh family home, and for that reason, I had them first on my list.
You might say even their house is a crime scene because it sounds like.
Yeah.
Quick! I just raped someone. Run to the Welsh's house.
Or maybe the Walsh's house was purchased because it was soundproof.
Yeah, right. No, you couldn't hear their screams.
Or the ass fucking.
Yeah. Don't worry, no one can hear any of that. Now, let me ask you, because this is actually something that also happened in that 70s show. Remember, Eric leaves the show early on, or last season, and then he comes back for the last episode, but he leaves. And do the kids still hang out of that house after both the main character, after Brandon and Brendan left the show?
I don't remember. But Brandon left at the very, very end. So maybe, because I think that, the parents were still in it throughout the entire run of the show. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, because in that 70s show, they hang out at the foreman's house. And I know they like explain it where she's like, I just want to have kids around. I miss Eric, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
but
Foreman had a daughter and a sister too.
Eric, yeah, but she left. She was gone at that point. They had like recasted her. She was like barely even on the show. They brought in that Randy character who everybody hated. Remember?
He was from Mad TV.
Yeah, and honestly, he's great. And he's what's his face's brother. God damn it, this is pissing me off. Randy, that's a show. Josh Myers, Seth Myers' brother. So he's actually been in some pretty good stuff. I like him. It's just not as Randy's role. Eric was just too good of a character to just get rid of.
Topher Grace.
Yeah, like I feel like, and honestly, I'm glad that then they went back and redid the show as that '90s show, I think it is, which was fucking awesome. And they, Topher Grace comes in, does cameos. Donna does cameos. Other characters do cameos. The parents, who are now grandparents, are in it full time. They did really good casting with the kids, but it's like, come on, you should have just stuck it out for whatever the 10 episodes that were left or something. Eric, he was making like $1 million an episode too. It's like, dude, finish the season out and then go fucking do Spider-Man. But like Randy, lame. Anyways, if it was me, I would like, get the fuck out of my house. You don't live here. But up next, I'm going to go with I don't know if I should call them the Pritchett's or the Dunphys.
Oh, I don't know.
So it's an extended family situation here, but it's all one big family. And it's not just a big family, it's a modern family. See what I did there? I just led into the title of the show. Awesome.
Good job.
Comedy, if you explain the joke, it just makes it like even funnier. Killing it here. Anyways,
I've been told.
Write that down. Want to be comedians? That's what you do. You tell the joke and then you explain why the joke is funny, and then people eat that shit up. They're like, it's classic. Anyways, yeah, it's a big extended family, but they're like a little bit like the lineups of the greatest comedy show of all time, you guys. They have a little bit of everything. By the way, greatest comedy show of all time coming back May 19th. Check out tiny.cc/greatest comedy show. Use promo code RETURN. Save 50% off. Come check it out. Epic lineup. Anyways, see what I did there? That's a nice little segue. The Pritchett's or the Dunphys.
Insert commercial now.
Yes. And then I love how you can see like all the things that get passed down from generation to generation. You know what I mean? Like they are that way because of like the parents in certain ways. And you can see it from the grandparents, parents, and kids. And none of them are perfect. That's the thing. Like they're all very flawed in their own way. But they come together and they're such a goddamn lovable family. And I'm not gonna lie, several of those episodes made me cry like a baby. They're just so good. And they're dysfunctional, but they found a way to kind of still be lovable and lead it into those, that traditional sitcom-y, like happy feeling that you get when you watch those shows without being like preachy or annoying. Like they're all so flawed. Yeah, they're great. They're great together.
They all just seem like such naturals. Like it almost feels like it's a reality TV show.
Yeah, it's great.
And I also think that they all like individually have such like amazing careers. Like this is such a star-studded, amazing cast. And yeah, this is comedy gold right there.
Yes. If you haven't seen Modern Family, I think you can check it out on Hulu and also on like Peacock. But great fucking show. Check it out. There's a lot of seasons too, so just saying. What you got next, boy?
Well, I'm gonna go out of order a little bit. I know this is a little controversial, but I think the Cosby Show was really important back in the day, and I think it was really nice for America and the world to see. Hold on.
Let me stop you real quick. If you're going to talk about the Cosby Show,
yeah.
Okay, go on.
I'm
ready for you.
I think that it was the Cosby Show kind of saved NBC, and I think it was important for the world to see an affluent Black family, in Brooklyn Heights, and I, when I think about it. Like, none of the doctors that I go to are white, and my psychiatrist isn't white. The lawyers I've worked with aren't white. And I think that up until the Cosby Show, we just saw a lot of white people on these in like important affluent roles, and I still think that's representative of our culture. So
yeah, the minority was always like the janitor. Always.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
Or like the
America.
door guy that they were friends with for some reason that would come in like, "Hola, it's me, Jose," and then
Yeah,
just leave out of nowhere. Like it's like, "Oh, hi,
totally.
Jose."
Or like if you're Asian, you're gonna be a karate expert, and like that's it. And then you have like a million people auditioning for the
Or
same
like
role.
Chinese food restaurant, and then
Yeah, I
white.
mean, America still has a ways to go, but I do think that the Cosby Show was amazing for that, and also they dealt with some really interesting issues too, and it wasn't cheesy for me. I just really loved it. I remember particularly they dealt with learning disabilities, and I was like, okay, I'm listening. So I think that they should have dealt with
Listening
issues
really
like
slowly though. You gotta talk slowly because he's listening. But
they should have dealt with issues like rape because maybe Bill Cosby would learn something. Right now this sh-
oh, oh,
because
oh.
because of his sexual misconduct allegations and the drugging of like dozens of women, they have stripped the show in syndication from every network except for I think TV1 might be the only network that shows, which is sad because it really was a great show, and the cast was phenomenal, and it sucks that everyone is now, I guess, tainted because of this horrible, horrible man, Bill Cosby.
I know.
But
And
back
the
in the
thing
day,
is,
it was a
like,
great show.
and it's obviously like, the Huxtables, they're TV characters. It's not rapey Bill Cosby playing himself over there. So I feel like you should be able to separate the character from the actor and things like that. But to be fair, the thing is that sucks, which I agree taking it off the air. The only reason why I agree taking it off the air is because Bill Cosby like owned, produced, like had all the rights to the show. So literally, like every time it aired, it was given a penny for him to fucking defend himself to, something that
True.
he did do. He got off on a total technicality. But so that's the only thing. It's like Harvey Weinstein. He produced some epic movies. You know what I mean? I don't think they should take off the movies, but it's like, fuck, is this guy still making money every time I watch those movies? It's kind of annoying.
I think that if I were to watch the show now, anytime a female character came on screen, in the back of my mind, I would be thinking, "Oh my god, poor
Run!
thing. Did he snatch at her panties? I hope that she didn't. I hope her dressing room was far enough away from that monster. I would
Watch
be
your
thinking
drink,
that.
girl.
Yeah,
Don't put your
don't take
glass
your eyes
down, girl.
off your drink.
Don't take any Moscow mules from him, girl.
I know. Remember back in the day, it was just Quaaludes. Now we got to worry about fentanyl. Yikes! I'll take a Quaalude over fentanyl any day of the week.
Oh god.
I shouldn't say that. That's not funny.
Yeah, Jesus. Oh god, you guys. Note, I had no part in that joke whatsoever, so cancel Simo and send him to hell. But
Yeah,
leave me untouched, please.
I'll be there.
Just like Bill Cosby, please leave me untouched. I don't want to be. You're not my type, dude. Oh god. So yeah, that's it. I honestly agree. It was a great TV family that inspired a lot of fucking people. So despite of Bill Cosby being a total fucking creep, that TV family should be on the list. I think it's good. I'm gonna go with one that is now the opposite here of the Pritchard and Dumfries, but they have a familiar actor in common. And this show
Arnold?
was written. Yes, Arnold.
Arnold?
This show was written by your writing teacher, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the Bundys, of course, and Married with Children. And here's the thing about the Bundys. They didn't have nice things. They didn't have fancy cars. They didn't have nice clothes. They weren't good on particular anything. The wife didn't like to do literally anything. She didn't fucking work. She didn't cook. She didn't like anything.
Al, that hair, those bangs.
Yeah. Al hated his job selling shoes, women's shoes. Everybody treated him like shit. His life was total hell. His
Yeah.
neighbors annoyed him. And those were pretty much like his only real friends for a while. But here's the thing. Even if Al Bundy didn't even want to touch his wife in bed, watch how mad he got when someone messed with his wife, Peg. Or when someone came at the Bundys. Boy, they stuck together, baby. So they kind of like...
Peggy was hot.
Yeah, baby.
Especially for a redhead, right?
Yeah, she's pretty attractive. But my crush back then was Kelly Bundy, who was the 90s
Christina Applegate
girl. Yeah, that's right. The 90s pinup girl of my dreams. And she's always been beautiful to this day. But yeah, Christina Applegate killing it. The Son was funny. I don't know. It was just like the first time where, aside from The Simpsons, I saw a dysfunctional like TV family where they weren't like, you know, like the Sea Bears, I'm forgetting, I'm blanking out on the name of the show, or like, you know, there
the
was
Sea Bears. What's the Sea Bears?
Remember Mike Seabear and the show with
Mike Seaver?
Yeah, and it had Leo was in it.
Oh, you're talking about not Family Ties. This was like
Cameron.
Growing Pains.
Growing Pains, yeah.
Mike Seaver. I think it was a Seaver family.
But it was like kind of hokey in some way. Meanwhile, this was like the total opposite. These guys lived in shit. But damn it, they were so entertaining and they were great and they were a good family and they knew what they were. And yeah, they just loved themselves. So big Bundy's fan.
Now Christina Applegate's really going through it with her. She has multiple sclerosis, and so she stepped away from the spotlight and from acting.
Doing voice acting actually, and apparently Married with Children is going to get brought back as a cartoon with the original cast voicing the family. So she might be doing that, which hopefully comes to fruition because that sounds awesome. And I'm not gonna lie, that show still holds up. Julie had never seen it, so we've been watching it.
Really?
Oh God, we started from episode 1, season 1, and it's so fucking good. Now we're about halfway done now with the show, and there's a bunch of episodes that even myself, I didn't remember from it's been so long, but fuck, it really holds up. So that's
I think some people may disagree, but Married with Children to me has some of the best writing because it's like punchline after punchline after punchline after punchline. It's just so clever to me.
Yeah, it's so goddamn good, dude. Big fan.
Me too. All right, next, similarly, I guess, it's pretty comparable. Roseanne had, the Connors, and they're also white trash. And it was just nice to see a family that didn't have lots of nice things, just like Married with Children. To me, the Roseannes reminded me more of my family. The Connors reminded me more of my family. And to be fair, Middle America is
the Roseannes.
That'd be a
terrible last name from a family.
Most of America, it can probably relate more to the Connors than they can, Growing Pains family. So
especially after Roseanne took some Ambien and washed it down with a little vodka.
Yeah, Roseanne. She had a comedy special recently. Did you see that?
I haven't. I actually want to. She was a good stand-up. No good.
She was, but she's just so conservative, and she makes fun of like pronouns and things like that. Like, listen,
I mean, that's her crowd. Like, you can't fault.
It's very like right-wing, conservative, Trump-loving comedy. Yeah, and there's a market for it. It's just not my taste.
Yeah, exactly, and like that's exactly what the Connors would be fucking listening to. It's just they got John Goodman as the dad, and John Goodman, aside from Tom Hanks, I think is like one of the most likable people to ever walk this earth. Even in movies where he's a bad guy, you like hate him, but it's like, but it's John Goodman. I love you, dude.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. I don't have a preference of which daughter, I like more because they had two. What was the girls? The blonde girl. There's Darlene and DJ, but the older one I forget. Anyway, there's two different actresses, and I like them both. I like everyone in the cast. Yeah, and then I think the girl from the Scrubs came on board, right? From Scrubs.
Yes, I just saw that. Wow, she was the second Becky. Yeah, it was
Becky.
Becky was the first one. Becky Connor, and then she came on. Sarah Chalk. I don't know how to pronounce.
But it was so like seamless. I think they did a really good job, just like sneaking her in, and they didn't even skip a beat. I will say that Aunt Jackie, played by Laurie Metcalf, Aunt Jackie is probably my favorite role of all of TV ever.
I forgot Tom Arnold's on that show too.
Briefly,
George Clooney was in that show. What?
Who?
George Clooney was in that show.
Oh, really? Was he Aunt Jackie's love interest?
Booker Brooks was his name in the show.
Oh wait, I think he was their boss, or he worked with them or something.
Wow, that's cool.
Right? Didn't they meet him at like the bar or something?
I
don't remember.
And Tobey Maguire had a role in it. Christopher Lloyd, who's the doc in Back to the Future. Allison Hannigan, who's the Bandcamp girl in American Pie. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Fuck, man, this show had so many people.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd, people don't remember, but he was such a big deal in the 90s. He was the villain in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He was in Back to the Future. He was in Dennis the Menace, the villain in that. He was in a lot of stuff. Oh, what a talented guy. We need more of him. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Well,
don't send us deeper into hell, damn it. We love you, Christopher Lloyd. He actually had a reunion with Michael J. Fox recently, like a Back to the Future reunion. It was awesome.
Well, I bet they really shook things up.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
And for the rest of the show, I'm going to mute Simo's mic, you guys, because he's been canceled by the network. Yeah, that's right, brother. I know a thing or two about getting canceled, brother. Now all you got to do, dude, is make a sex tape, and all your problems will go away. Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyways, on to the next one. You just had the Kanas. And I'm going to go to a family that I got to say, it's so close to be my favorite family in TV. It's so close. I'm talking about the Matthews or the Matthewses. I don't know how to pluralize something that ends with an S.
I don't either.
Matthewses. I don't know. I don't know things sometimes. From Boy Meets World. And here's the thing about that family. Another family that's far from perfect, but they tried. You know what I mean? The dad was like, he worked in a grocery store for most of his life, and then he decided to start his own business, which is pretty cool. You see them, way through. I think it's like elementary school, middle school, high school, all the way through college. So you see that journey as literally the boy meets the world. But they were fucking funny, dude. Like, God. Eric, as the older brother, it starts out with that relationship where they don't like each other. But they grew
he had great hair, right?
Very relatable. Oh, yeah. He had one of the best hairs in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I'd say, I saw a picture of them recently. They're doing like a reunion podcast of sort or a show. Guy still has great hair. Killing it.
Oh,
too good for
him. What
him.
a sexy fuck, man.
And they were, Finna! And they took in Sean, Corey's friend, just because he had nowhere to go. He was basically like a second son to them. And they always dealt with lessons together, damn it. And, the dad let Corey get in trouble, but he was always there to have his back. Like when Corey ends up in front of a judge. Forget what he stole a car or something. I don't know. They're always like B-level crimes when they did stuff, though. You know what I mean? Corey wasn't so bad.
Wait, what was the neighbor's name?
Mr. Feeney.
Feeney. He was like part of the family too. He gave really good advice.
Great
Next
advice. And I just, stuff like that, like spoiled having neighbors for me in America, because at the time I was living in Venezuela, I thought, oh, you lived in America, you're gonna have a cool neighbor. You know what I mean? Like I would see like Home Improvement, Wilson was always super cool. All these shows, you always have a great neighbor with great advice. And then you fucking come here and it's just like some asshole stopping around their apartment all day.
I know. I had a picture of Topanga in my locker in middle school.
Is that your cover?
That was my cover. I think I was the only boy in Arbutus Middle School that had a picture of anyone in their locker. I'm not gay.
Behind the Topanga was Justin Timberlake with his shirt off.
No, not at all. I open up my locker door every day and I would say, "Hey, girl."
Yeah, Topanga was fun. She blasts. I mean, she's still beautiful, but I remember she started out as like the weird girl on the show, and then she just got so damn attractive.
I loved her.
Mm-hmm. I know. That's why I loved her too. She was so weird. I mean, I'm weird. I like weird things. That's why also Eric turns into like he tries to be cool at first, but then he just embraces inner weirdness, and then he just becomes one of the best characters. Yeah, gotta love that shit. And so many messages, damn it, so many lessons were taught as boy met the world.
Yeah,
so gotta put him there. Gotta put him on the list.
My next one has a lot of lessons too, and this is also one that I don't know how to pronounce the name in the plural sense. The Bankses
or the Banksies? No, the Banksy is the artist. The Bankses.
The Banks.
The Banks.
The Banks. I don't know, but Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to me was such a cool show, and I feel like in the early 90s, this came out like 1990.
We're talking about OG, right? Because the show is back.
Yeah, Peacock. Not the new one. No, the OG. So the original to me was really, really important because I feel like in the 90s, even my parents, they were like, we are not down with hip hop. We don't like that gangster rap. But I feel like this is like a stepping stone for like the hip hop community to go mainstream. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, he didn't. As Eminem said, well, Will Smith doesn't have to curse in his raps to sell records. Well, I do. So fuck him and fuck you too.
Yeah.
He was a rapper, and I will say this is actually a fun story about Will Smith. He actually did used to curse in his raps, but then his grandma heard one of his songs, and like she was like she slapped him outside the head. She was like, "Listen, if you can't sell a song without these words in it, then you're no good."
So she slapped him. Is that where he got it from?
That's where he learned it.
You know, hurt people hurt people. Chris Rock, you hear that? Hurt people hurt people.
You keep that F word out your mouth right now.
Yeah. Well,
we got here full circle.
I just like that show so much because it was a nice mix of like socioeconomic backgrounds under one roof. Because the premise is that, you know, he was from like West Philadelphia, I guess the hood, and he comes out to Bel-Air where he's like super fancy and everyone's wealthy and his uncle is a judge. I mean, the cast of characters was amazing. And I will say that this show, you were just talking about celebrity guests. I think Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has everyone beat. I mean, the slew of girlfriends that any of them had on the show. I'm
pretty sure even Trump was in the show, actually.
He was in the show. And also Naomi Campbell was Jeffrey's date to something one time. Tyra Banks had a small character.
She was on a few episodes. Will was his. Well, they kind of dated.
They had Tisha Campbell. They had, oh my God, Jennifer Lewis was his aunt. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. But they had some amazing people, and they also dealt with some really amazing topics. I really like shows that aren't just funny but have a lot of heart, and like you walk away feeling enlightened about a particular social justice issue. So I do think that they did a very good job. And this is one show that I can watch anytime, and I'm going to enjoy it. I mean, even every time that they threw Jazz out the house.
It was funny.
I loved it. I mean, everything about the show I loved.
And here's the thing: it's a show where, the whole premise is that Will comes over to Bel Air for them to teach him how to be more like them, but they end up learning from Will as well.
Oh
Like the
yeah.
episode where him and Carlton get pulled over by the cops and they got to deal with the racism and shit. Carlton has no idea. Phil does, and Uncle Phil does too, because he also had to fucking hustle to make his money. Or when fuck man.
Although when Ashley was getting picked on and Will's teaching her how to fight, and she's doing this, and she's like, just mind your business. What was her name? Tatiana Ali? Man, Hillary was my favorite. And the episode where Hillary's fiance went bungee jumping. Huh?
I was in love with Tatiana Ali.
I mean, she really is stunning.
She's so cute. And we're like
she was
the same age.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Remember? She went, I think her sister or something got eaten by the devil. I don't know. But anyway,
because he was gay.
Hillary had a fiance or almost a fiance. I think he like proposed to her on a bungee jump, but the bungee snapped and he hit.
Died. Yeah.
And then Ashley was playing with a yo-yo and it hit the floor, and then she's like, "Oh, sorry." I just think everything about the show is so good.
Now, and this is one episode that if you're, as the kids say, if you know, you know. If you watch the show, you know this episode.
The dad?
Will's dad. Yes! Fuck! Even
what
just that
brilliant
scene. Just that scene will bring you to tears.
Television.
Baby. Yes, by far, when Will Smith's dad comes to visit him in Bel Air, and he keeps promising that he's gonna take him with him to vacation and shit, and then he just doesn't show. Fuck.
And that's the moment where I was like, damn, Will's gonna get an Oscar someday. Like, he's got some acting chops. And I didn't know that he was gonna slap somebody, but I knew that he was gonna get some awards for sure. Because while he was filming
his first movie, Welcome to Earth.
Yeah. I was gonna say, when he was filming Fresh Prince of Bel Air, he was also in Independence Day with Vivica A. Fox, who was also a guest star on Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I mean, the cast was amazing, but no one outshined the original cast. That is the Banks family. I mean, even the Butler's part of the family too, and Jeffrey, and I really just adore this family.
And I think actually, I was just watching Bad Boys 1. That came out in '97, which I'm pretty sure the show was still on. So I think that he was in. I think he was still doing the show when Bad Boys came out, which is wild.
I think the show went on for 6 seasons. I think the first 3 had the original Vivian, and then the last 3 had the other Vivian. But I like the first Vivian the most, the original.
Yeah, she's the OG. The other one was fine. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like her and all, but like, the first one was so cool, and I don't know. I just love her. Anyways, now that leaves us with 2 TV families to go. You guys.
Yeah.
We just did the Banks.
Yeah. We did.
And now I'm going to go to my number 1, which is The Simpsons. Fuck, I love The Simpsons.
Looks like you have some Simpsons on the posters behind you. Who are these people?
I'm certified over here myself, thanks to Julie. Shout out to that. And actually, this is a new one I just got this week.
I noticed that.
It's pretty cool stuff. I gotta say, man, I just love them. They're wacky, they're silly, they're full of crazy schemes. But the Simpsons, like I alluded to earlier when I was talking about the Bundys, they got rid of all the cookie cutter crap that other families did. And it was really like the first time where I saw a family that just was not perfect, and the kid cursed. He obviously he wasn't like Cartman levels of cursing, but he was
eat my shorts, man.
Yeah, and he was rebellious, and
no one lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Yeah. which is great candy, by the way. And the
Mhm.
thing is, like, fuck, the dad Homer is no genius, but he somehow managed to provide for his family. He became a goddamn nuclear engineer somehow. Really terrible hiring him because he's highly incompetent for the job. But damn it, he did it. And they're a great dad. They're a great couple. Homer and Marge have great love stories in the show when they have troubles and stuff, and they've always found a way. You see the
Mhm.
stories of, like, for example, how Lisa got her saxophone. Makes me cry every goddamn time.
She got to
It's a
play with Michael Jackson.
yes, he made her. Well, actually, Bart got to play with Michael Jackson, but Michael Jackson sang Lisa a birthday song. Remember, they wrote it together. Like, Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. However, they
You know,
didn't really
my
get Michael Jackson to sing because they had to pay him extra. So they just got his voice for the show, but the actual singing, a voice double did it.
really, you know,
Yeah.
I have two favorite characters. One is Ralphie. I choose you.
Wow.
I eat
I
paste.
love myself.
Yeah. And
The
then
devil tells me to burn things.
who's the guy that was in the wheelchair and was like, "Meh, Steve Jobs?
Oh no, Stephen Hawkins, man.
Hawkins. Sorry, I knew it was a Steve something. Stephen Hawkins. He was really funny in that show
If you're
too.
looking for trouble, you found it.
Yeah. He had such great one-liners.
Yeah, yeah, he was
But
great.
no, the
They
core family
have,
was an ideal family for sure.
for sure, for sure. And I mean, god damn it, it's a show that to this day I still watch regularly. Like, whenever I'm sad, whenever I just need to laugh, whenever I need something, I just put on The Simpsons, dude, and have a great time. So, got to put them on the very, very tippy top of my side of the list. And that leaves us to one more TV family.
Now, this one, to be honest, it isn't my favorite, but I think it might be one of America's favorites. So that's why I left it for last. I do think that when you think of like family values and like, I don't know, a family comprised of, um, you know, I guess the core group, but also a lot of extended family all under one roof, whether it's aunts and uncles or like your dad's best friend, it's Full House with the Tanners. So I mean, I watch this show religiously. I don't watch it anymore because now when I look at it, I think it's just so cheesy. But at the time, like if you lived in a household that wasn't very positive and was very turbulent, you could have a cathartic hug by watching Full House and getting
Yeah,
a make believe hug from Danny Tanner. You know what I mean? Like I
totally.
felt like watching this show, there's so many hugs, and I thought, like, wow, I wish my family was like this. Now I look back, I'm glad that they weren't, because I would be a total puss. But I did enjoy watching the show as a kid. And they dealt with some serious issues too.
No, totally. And the thing is, like, the whole premise of the show is fucking serious as shit. Bob Saget, Danny Tanner's wife, dies, I think, of cancer or something. Really sad. He
Yeah.
ends up
Oh,
having
no, no,
to
I think a
raise
car accident.
a car accident. They have to raise these. He has to raise these three children on his own. So then his uncle Jesse and Joey move in to help him, and it's like some real shit. It goes to show that it takes a village. You know what I mean, to do this shit. And it's like, it's kind of like Three Men and a Baby. This guy has to figure out how to
Yeah.
raise daughters now on his own, and and it's just, it's adorable, but it's great. And there are three personalities, which is funny because they stayed friends all through their lives. John Stamos, David Coulier, and Bob Saget. Their personalities on the show also meshed really well. Like Dave Coulier had the wacky character. I think his name was Uncle Joey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a great voiceover or impressionist.
Yes, and he had like a cartoon show for a while. He had a kids show later on or something like that. Uncle Jesse was like the cool one with the great hair. He was like the struggling artist of the three, and obviously this helps them settle down a little bit. And Danny, was the one that, maybe had it more together. He was the news anchor,
The
kind
neat
of killing
freak.
it this way. Yes. But he had to figure out now how to be a stay-at-home dad too sometimes, and help these kids. So great dynamic. They did deal with some serious shit, especially when that time that Aunt Becky was caught paying off colleges to let kids in, and then she went to jail. Oh, sorry, that was a whole. That was a different episode. Sorry.
That got her ass booted from Fuller House. I was like, damn. If you get kicked off of a spinoff of Full House, then you are just the devil's sister. Girl, America hates you. God damn. But what a bitch. She's like, my kid's going to college, and if her grades don't kick in, fuck it. I'm going to pay her way. We're going to make this happen because we are thick as thieves. Stupid hoe. What a mess.
He's going to ITT Tech. That's what.
I think this was the first time that I saw on TV, like a widowed father introduce like a new girlfriend. Vicky, remember her? And I also, I feel like this was the first time I saw like a best friend in a parental role, because I think that, we all have like family friends of our parents who we look up to as like actual family,
That's right.
I also think that this is one of the first shows that had like the epitome of like an all-American dog comment. Like, I feel like this is like a picture perfect family.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Because I look at a golden retriever like, oh, that's the all-American dog.
That's what you're talking. I forgot about Comet. They had the perfect dog too. Yes.
Yeah. And so whenever I see a golden retriever, I'm like, oh, that's the all-American dog because they have it on Full House.
Yeah. Comet was adorable. God, rest in peace, Comet, because you're definitely not around now. But you were a beautiful pup, man. Yeah, man.
I think he was in the movie Air Bud. Remember that?
He was an Air Bud 1, but he had an injury slamming down a basketball, and they had to euthanize him for Air Bud 2, and it was just
yeah. But you can buy his paws on eBay.
Yes.
It's hooked up to a keychain for a minimal fee of $4,999.99. And we'll throw in this free gift of 2 throw pillows.
That's right. Made him happy. And on that note, that was our list on the best TV families.
Okay, I have a random question.
Go on.
Okay, so my grandma, when her dog died, a little dog, she got it stuffed. And it sat in the window. And all our neighbors thought the dog lived on forever, but it was really just stuffed. When I die, can I get stuffed?
I think so.
Can you do taxidermy on a person?
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think it's legal in every state. Don't quote me on this. I think it is in Texas. I do think someone tried to do it. Like a grandma or something.
I would love to live on forever.
See, it's tough because I think what makes it easier with animals is that they're covered in hair. You know what I mean? So, like, you don't have to worry about the face. But it's like how long you keep a mummy, essentially.
Well, if it wasn't for Manscaped, I'd be covered in hair too. Thank you, Manscaped.
That's right. Use promo code FRATCHAT. Save 20% off right now on Manscaped.com and all our Manscaped products. On a friend. How about to do it? Put it together. That's 40%, right? No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Still, I'll say. Anywho, let us know what you thought of our list. Give us a follow on all social channels at Frat Chat Podcast. That's on Instagram, that's on Facebook, that's on Twitter, that's on YouTube. Make sure you give me a follow as well at Carlos Does the World on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, and Carlos Does World on Twitter. And make sure you get my buddy Cena over there a follow as well at chris.moore.comedy on Instagram, on TikTok, and see more comedy on the old Twitter machine.
Yes.
So, Mr. Mouth, On that note, it's time to go. So why don't you please get us out of here?
I motion to adjourn this meeting so that I can watch a thrilling episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes, and I second. All right, you guys, we'll be back next week with another episode of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting time. It's the Frat Chat Podcast. Thanks for the love. See ya.
Peace.